The Sri Lankan people are amazing. The government, not so much. This is my experience 2024. Good luck to the new president. So far, it's the typical run around wild goose chase. So you go in, you wait in line a bit, they let you in. It's pretty fast getting in the building. Then you go to get a token, which is step one of getting a visa. Then they give you a form, and then they say, oh, you need a photograph. So you got to go downstairs, get the photograph. Hopefully they have it in building, I don't even know. And then from there, I guess you come back up and you'll get to the next step, and then I'm sure they'll give me something else to do. It's always how it works in government. All right, so we just went to this studio place to get some pictures taken. You have to go outside the building for the immigration office. Pretty typical, honestly. Not too far. It was 100 rupees to take a tuk-tuk here. It's like half a block or something, or a block. Now I have to go back, and I'm sure we'll see what the next thing is. We'll see what the next ridiculous step is in this process. So, and all because they wouldn't allow me to pay by email. Maybe their system's down or something, or maybe they just don't care or what. All of those could be true. But it was easy to get into the building. It was easy to find somebody to talk to say, yeah, go to this floor, you know. So that was pretty efficient overall. I was a little bit surprised about that, so that's good. So no super long lines that I've run into yet at all. Not in the building of immigration, and also not at the passport picture service either. I had to wait for like 2 people to have their pictures taken, but I am waiting now. I paid, and I'm waiting for the pictures to actually be printed up. It costs 400 rupees for 4 pictures, 100 rupees a picture. That's high, but it's close. It's fine, you know, whatever. I think anybody would pay that here. So, yeah, now once I get the pictures, I go back to the building. Same old thing. I go back to the same desk. I fill out the form this time, and then we'll see. I get a token of some sort as the next step. That's one of 4 steps they have up on the wall in the building. So yeah, I'll let you know what it's like after. I don't think I'll be able to record in there, probably. So we'll see. We're in the immigration building of Sri Lanka in Colombo. They made me come down here from Kandy in person because even though my application went through right away online for my second extension, the payment notice I never received, and so I had to come in person, 2.5 hours here, 2.5 hours back to Kandy, and in person I didn't know why. So I get here, I get in, the lines weren't bad, I said before, get into the building, no problem. I did get a little bit of a rigmarole. Went to the first queue on the 4th floor. It's section C, I think, is the first one. Yep, and it's a visa division. And she gave me a paper slip after seeing the visa stamped on my passport. So because of that, she said, oh, I have to go outside. She gave me a paper application, said you have to get, she didn't, and she said you have to get a photograph as well. So I have to go outside in the heat and everything, get a photograph. I did that, came back, and I realized, why am I filling out the same application I did online? So then I showed her my digital application submission, and then she's like, oh, now you go to level 4, section B. And that's where I went, waited in line there. All right, so I'm still in this area. The building's actually really gorgeous, amazing floors. I mean, it's kind of crazy, kind of an interesting building. Very nice building, actually. Anyway, so I went to section B, and in that section, I showed them my digital application. It was a bit weird there. They wanted to take my phone into the back because it was a digital. And I'm like, I'm not giving them my phone unlocked to take into a back room. I'm like, I need my phone. So they kept my passport, which I actually forgot about. My phone's more important to me than my passport. And they said, you go downstairs, print this out. There's no place to print it out downstairs on the first floor of the building. You have to go outside again. So I almost left the building, and I was like, well, how am I going to get back in if I don't have my passport, you know? I'm like, okay, so I got to go back to section B. And I was like, hey, I need my passport. And they're like, okay, yeah. So she mentioned it to somebody, and I waited like 20 minutes just to get my passport back that they took and they were keeping. And I'm like, are they doing something with it, or are they just holding it, waiting for this printout? And finally they came out and they're like, you're good to go. I was getting really upset though, honestly. Like I don't have a whole lot of tolerance for government stuff. But in the end, I will say that this process was actually not as bad as I expected. And there was only a couple little mild issues that really upset me. Initially, the lady at the front desk, or in section C, she didn't ask if I had a digital copy or any sort of online submission. So she just sort of like looked at the one on my passport and then just gave me a paper application, assuming that I had only been here a month and I hadn't done anything online. But the interesting thing is I applied online even before I got that stamp on my passport. So that would be a critique that I would give for the Sri Lankan government for next time. That maybe people that are giving information, maybe have them prompt some of the people that are trying to get visas and stuff, prompt them, because not everybody knows the visa process. I certainly don't. This is my first time to Sri Lanka, but I probably should have known, like, okay, application submission, like online, it said I submitted it, I just need to pay. Maybe I should have said that, I just need to pay. Maybe she would have gotten that. So that was a bit of a hassle, but other than that, overall not too bad of an experience, except for having to come to Colombo in person to do the visa extension. But I'm happy I get to stay plenty more time here in Sri Lanka. I think another few months will be enough time for me to see the things that I need to see. See you guys later.